You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History. Minor Family Dentistry would like to bring you the following dental health tip. It's recommended to have a dental checkup no later than your child's first birthday. An adult should brush for a young child and monitor older children's brushing to ensure a good job is done. Flossing should start when teeth are touching. Minor Family Dentistry wishes you good dental health. Families, including children of all ages, are welcome. Minor Family Dentistry, 1010 Downing and Hayes. Find them in the Next Tech directory.
So, you think you have skeletons in your closet? Come to Sternberg Museum, where we let our skeletons out of the closet.
Hello, and welcome to You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. My name is Dana Stanton, and I'm the coordinator of the West Central Kansas Smart Start program. And with me today is Susan Bowles. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Dana.
Now, first tell us, where do you work and what do you do there?
Well, I am a speech-language pathologist, and I work for the school district here in Hayes. I work at both the Hayes Area Children's Center, and I also work at Roosevelt School with the Head Starts, and I do home visits with 3 to 5-year-olds.
Okay. Now, today we're going to talk about a special subject, a developmental screening, right?
Yes.
So first tell us, what is a developmental screening?
Well, a developmental screening is where we look at young children in 6 main areas of development. We look at their personal social development. This personal development would have to be looking at the child's ability to follow requests of their parents or their child care providers. Social behavior then would look at how well is the child interacting with other children, how do they play with other children, as well as how do they interact with other adults in their environment. We look at self-help skills. Self-help skills are those skills that children learn to be independent in their environment, how they're toileting, which is a big issue for young children. What are their sleeping patterns? How well are they doing with feeding themselves? As well as how are they learning to dress themselves? We look at motor development, which is muscle development. We look at both large muscle development, which is called gross motor, and these are the muscles that we use to run, to jump, kick a ball, to have balance, as well as catch a ball. And we look at fine motor development, which is looking at the smaller muscles, the muscles we use like in our fingers and our thumb to have a pincer grasp, to pick up things, to hold a pencil or a crayon so that we can have the strength to copy shapes or to color a picture. The other things we look at are communication, both receptive communication, which is the number of words a child might understand, or directions when we put those words together to follow through with things, as well as expressive communication, which is looking at the child's ability to use what language they have in order to get their wants and needs met. We look at cognitive skills, which are the thinking abilities, and that's kind of incorporating all their skills to interact in their environment. We think about the young child who when they drop a toy off their tray, do they realize that it isn't gone? Or do they realize that if I look over, that toy is still there? That's right. And we look at, for older children, we look at some of the pre-academic skills. Are they starting to learn their shapes, and can they name them? Are they able, if I give them a set of blocks, can they count out 1 or 3 and give them to me? Are they starting to recognize letters? Some of these things they're starting to learn before they go into kindergarten. And then we do a health check. We do hearing screenings, vision, as well as check height, weight, and immunizations with the families.
That's a pretty complete screening.
Yeah, a complete screening. The screening, while you ask that, the screening does take about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half per child. So we like to get a good look at them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, who is this for? Was there a certain age group of children?
Yes, the screenings are for families who have young children between the ages of birth to school age. We screen children that live in Ellis County and Rush County as well. But, I often say that families can call us if they have a concern about one of the areas that I was just talking about. But it doesn't have to be that. Many families will come to the screening because they just want to know how their child is doing, and they want some suggestions on what they can work with their child so that they can promote their development at home.
Now, who screens the child?
Okay, the screenings are completed by local professionals. We have early childhood special education teachers that do the developmental portion of the screening, and we have speech-language pathologists that look at the hearing screenings as well as come into the developmental screening to look at the communication, how the child is making their speech sounds. We have registered nurses who check vision as well as immunizations and height and weight. They also will ask questions sometimes if there's concern about the child's eating, and if they're eating enough of the right kind of foods. The registered nurse is the person that can help you in that area.
Now, say your child has a screening and there is an area of concern. What happens after that?
If there is an area of concern, we do make referrals on to further agencies so that the child can be looked at in more detail in that area. For example, young children often will have ear problems. They may not pass the hearing screening, and it may not be that they can't hear. It may be that they might be having an ear infection. Well, we can't diagnose that, but we can send them on to their family physician so that that person can look in their ears and see what's going on and make the appropriate recommendations at that time. We do send referrals on to other agencies in case they do need further testing to see if they are going to maybe need some therapy so that they can get the best possible start before they get into those school years.
Yes. Now, how often are the screenings? Is this a yearly, monthly, weekly? How does that work?
The screenings are held monthly. We have one every month. They're on Fridays. We also have 2 additional screenings that we do in Rush County, where we go down to La Crosse and do them. Sometimes if we have people from outlying areas that just can't come in, we will make extra appointments to make sure we go and see those kids if they would like to have us come.
Now, are they located at the same place each month? Where are they?
No, we actually are very fortunate to have several of the churches around here invite us and let us use their facility. We use both the United Methodist Church, Trinity Lutheran Church here in Hayes, and we used St. Michael's Catholic Church in La Crosse. And then other screenings are conducted at the Hayes Area Children's Center, which is right west of the football field, Fort Hays State football field. So.
Now, one of the things people might be saying, you get all these experts that get to look at your child. How much does it cost?
Oh, that's a good question. This is really a wonderful opportunity because it is free for our families here in this area. It does not cost a thing. So, yes, we can provide that for you at no cost.
Now, I assume parents have to reserve a spot for a screening.
They do. In order to schedule an appointment, they need to call the Hayes Area Children's Center. We can be found in the phone books, or the number is 625-3257. Just call there and set up an appointment. It's easy as that.
And, I think a lot of times parents wonder if their child is developing as they should, and this is a perfect opportunity for them to find out. They don't have to worry.
That's right. And it's just a wonderful opportunity, you're right, to see how they're doing in each of the areas. And if there are maybe some areas that are a little lower, our professionals can provide activities so that they can take that home, or suggestions that they can take home and work with their child. Sometimes we might ask them to come back for a rescreening appointment, and that could take anywhere from 3 months to 12 months from the initial screening to see if some of those suggestions has helped, and if that has promoted their development, and if not, maybe we need to go on to further evaluation, or maybe we don't need anything and say, that's great, you passed. Even those families or those young children that pass the screening, we always welcome you to come back as often as you would like.
Well, I know that this is something that we have done with all 3 of our kids, and it's a great comfort, and it's really helpful to parents. So thank you for your information today.
Thank you, Dana, for having us. Thank you.
You've been watching You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. Parents, remember, you are your child's first and best teacher. Thank you.
Thanks for watching You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You can watch the program weekdays in the noon and 9 o'clock hours. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History.